Welcome to Vintage Genetics, where it is all about classic bodybuilding. And today I want to talk to you about stomach vacuums and the different kinds that exist throughout the bodybuilding world. Unfortunately, nowadays the vacuum isn't as prevalent as it was back in the 70s and 80s, but luckily the classic physique class changes this entirely. And that's a good thing because that's what bodybuilding needs, especially with people growing less fond of the mass monsters of today, and I wholeheartedly agree. But anyway, talking about the vacuums, we gotta start with the golden era. Nowadays, bodybuilders use a stomach vacuum because of the fact that the big bodybuilders can't really do it anymore, and because people want to see a glimpse of the golden era's return so badly, it has become the hallmark of what classic bodybuilding is all about today. When you're able to do it, you are already halfway there. In the 70s, however, some bodybuilders performed and practiced the vacuum because of their genetic limitations. Arnold is actually the perfect example of this. Genetically, Arnold had a wide waist. But this sounds weird to acknowledge, right? We all think of him as having a massive upper body with a narrow waist, but this is exactly what he accomplished by performing the vacuum at just the right poses. He looked extremely narrow from the side poses, and this is what he used to his advantage, especially during his posing routines to showcase his massive upper body and seemingly very narrow waist. This is how we beat bodybuilders with similar mass and smaller waists like mr.olympia. In my personal bodybuilding journey, I've always been capable of doing the stomach vacuum and even did it for fun before I lifted a weight. Some people simply have this ability naturally, and some people have to practice engaging the muscle that causes the vacuum effect, the transverse abdominis, aka the TVA muscle. I have a video talking about this on my channel if you are interested. When I started seriously implementing this pose, I noticed that my vacuum looked a little different from most of the vacuums that I see. Mine was more in a straight line compared to bodybuilders such as Frank Zane, Mike Mentzer, and others. So this is when I discovered it's all about the shape of your rib cage. The old school vacuums are usually called the shark vacuum because it resembles the open mouth of a shark. You can make this comparison by comparing the upper jaw that you see right here of the shark to the rib cage, and the whole of the mouth of the shark you compare it to the shadow cast over the stomach's bodybuilder because of the vacuum. It kind of has a similar shape. And this is another comparison of Arnold himself and a smaller Arnold lookalike named Anton Riskin. And I did some research, and it turns out there are several different variations your ribcage can have. And it seems that the coastal angle of your ribcage determines whether you have a regular ribcage or a barrel-chested ribcage. Obviously, there's a lot of variation in between, but this is the extreme example. Here you get another comparison using body types. Of course, this is a stereotypical approach, but it gets the message across. And I am probably in between the meso and endomorph range, just like Jason Ha. But Frank Zane and Artemis Dolgen, for example, are in between the ecto and mesomorph range. So don't give up on practicing the vacuum, because whether you have a wide or narrow waist, you will most certainly look more golden when you achieve it. And I just thought it was an interesting topic to share with you guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what else you want to hear. Lots more coming, and thank you for watching. And don't forget to stay golden.